computer. Okay, perfect. All right, welcome everybody to Diamond Zone Tuesday night edition. Okay, new things. First of all, every Tuesday the company will be taking over the opportunity calls every Tuesday. But here's what I want people in Europe to understand. On Tuesdays, or people outside of the United States time zones, they're doing 12 o'clock Pacific time, which is great for us, for people in Europe. So it's another one we could put on our calendar. And 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So for example, tomorrow, Wednesday, okay, we're doing a 12 o'clock European call. So now Europe can market Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sundays are the European calls at 12 o'clock Pacific time. Remember, we changed the times. 12 o'clock Pacific time for Europe, or anywhere. You could be anywhere. Tuesday, Wednesday, Sundays. So today's call at 12, Chad and Natita will be doing it because the people doing these calls are all presidential millionaires and above. Okay, so we're going to also forward diamondzone.world to these calls. So if you go to diamondzone.world, you'll be able to get on these calls, just like we do with all of our calls. We want to make it consistent. But also, just so you should note this, on Tuesdays, okay, the direct is www.worldgnonline.com. You can see it right here. But diamondzone.world will work. But also, just in case, okay, www.worldgnonline.com is today's call at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And then again at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So we're going to continue the schedule. Just basically on Tuesdays, it's been taken care of for us. We don't have to worry about it. All right, so understand that. And also now on Saturdays, they're doing World Opportunity Trainings. At what time? 9 a.m. Pacific. 9 a.m. Pacific time. So this is great as people get started, right? Doesn't mean you're not sitting down with your people, but they can see the Fast Start training that we have recorded, that Jeremy does, and also there's now the World Opportunity Trainings that will be rotated on Saturdays. So very, very cool. So remember, today at 12 and 6, I know I've said this 4 times, but I'll still get questions. Is that today at 12? Okay, 12 and 6. So that's very exciting, guys. I'm so excited about that and what's happening there. Now, here's the other thing. And this is exciting for all of us Diamond Zoners, okay? Tomorrow, we have Chad and Natita will be doing Diamond Zone, okay? So you guys should be very excited about that. Chad and Natita, look at that check, right? Look what can happen in a year. Okay, and I'm just saying, obviously that's the bar, right? 5.9 million. This changed their life. Changed their life in 1 year. Now, it doesn't have to be 5.9 million, does it, for all of you? Okay. Think about it. What would an extra 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, whatever it is? But it shows it's possible, and that's what I love. And they said yes immediately when I asked them to do Diamond Zone, guys. Market the hell out of this. Okay, I want them to see a full house tomorrow. Market it to your entire organization. Chad and Natita tomorrow at 7 a.m. Exciting stuff. Diamond Zone will not let you down. All right. So here's what I'm going to talk about today, guys. And I want to set this up the right way. You know, when Ramasio did his training yesterday, you know, I'm taking notes like I take notes. I don't care who's talking. It doesn't make a difference. But, you know, Ramasio was able to accomplish something very, very special in this company by hitting double president millionaire. And what he was walking you through is how he did it. And I'm always listening, right, with an intent on how to train. That's how I listen. I listen to pick up certain nuggets that I know is going to apply to everybody. And, you know, when Ramacio's talking about, and I'm just going to tell you, a lot of people listen to that and they say, well, you know what, it's talking about getting 6 people, right, to team developer, and then having all those 6 people get their 6 very quickly. And a lot of people say to me, well, Jeff, that's not realistic. Listen, if you say it's realistic, if you say it's not realistic, you're right either way. Either way. And I'm not here to say everybody you're going to come in contact with, everybody you come in contact with is going to go out there and get 6 people in their first week. I understand that. But the mentality has to be, okay, that there are people that have that kind of credibility and contact base. So you don't make assumptions in anything you do. In fact, let me help you with this. In fact, here's how I want everybody to think. When you talk to people, or you come in contact with people, or you put somebody on your list, you got to see them as they're already involved in your business. Right? You got to, what do they always say? You got to picture it. Right? You got to paint the picture in your head. So the number one word that I took away from the training, and I've seen that training a lot, guys. Remember, I've been doing this, we've been doing this a long time, okay? And it's just different ways based on the presenter. And Ramacio has a very specific way. I love his style because his style is direct. He repeats himself, so he's understood. And that's the key to communication. But the word that I took away from is this: connecting. Connect. Connect is the key to your business. Being able to connect very quickly with people, right? And when that connection is made, this is how you figure out very quickly what you got. I know you've heard this 1,000 times on Diamond Zone. We're investigators. That's what we are. We're private investigators. And guess what? There's a crime committed, right? You know what the crime is? The crime in most cases for people is they've worked 10, 20, 30 years in a situation that'll never get them to where they want to go. That's a crime. And you're the investigator that's going to try to figure out why that crime was committed. And you know why that crime was committed? Because it's all the people knew. It was their environment. Think about it. The crime starts when we're little because we're told to what? Go to school and get a job. That's a crime. Okay? I'm just getting you to think. And then we're around this environment our whole life. And we don't even know we're committing a crime until we wake up one day and go, wait a minute. How come I'm not financially independent? And so this is where you have to connect with people. And you got to connect on where they are. It's common ground. Connecting practice number 1, common ground. Connectors connect on this playing field. But there's barriers to common ground that all of us, including, do. Right? And these are the barriers that we have to break through. Number 1 barrier, you've heard it, assumptions. We make assumptions. That person will never do it. That person doesn't know 6 people. That person has no credibility. That person's broke. That person's rich. That person lives here. We make all these assumptions. And one of the questions I always ask people, okay, genius, who's going to do it? If you're that smart, tell me who's going to do it. You tell me all the reasons who's not going to do it. You know what that is? That's assumptions. And you heard the training the other day. You know why people make assumptions? Do you know why people recreate the wheel? I should be unmuting you, so you tell me because you've heard the training. Because it allows them to do nothing. If they make assumptions, and they say, well, Caitlin will never do it, allows me not to call Caitlin. I don't have to call Caitlin. I already made the assumption she's not going to do it. Does that make sense? Okay? And so it does what? It paralyzes us. Arrogance. I know everything, right? I don't have to learn anything in the business. Control, right? And indifference. These are the barriers. These are the barriers that we all must break through so we can connect. Until we connect, we can't find a team developer, guys. You got to get this. It's not a magic wand. You got to connect to the people that you are prospecting. You got to connect to people on your list. You got to reverse always engineer it. Right? If our focus, everybody on this call, and I'm going to give you all a new focus today, okay? I'm diverting now, but I'm going to give everybody here a focus. Let's really reverse engineer this. We're talking about team developers, right? Okay. Can we all start with this? Can we all buy into, if you guys go to your chat, I've never done this, but I watched Chad and Atita do it. I watched Romasio do it. I'm going to try it. Okay. Put in a 1. Okay. If everybody here commits between now and Friday to sponsor 1. Forget team developer right now. Forget Diamond. I want to see who commits to sponsoring 1. And hold yourself accountable and watch how your mentality changes. Watch how your posture changes. Watch how your belief changes by getting 1. There should be 115 ones in that chat box. And I'm not, but you know what? If you don't commit to it, don't commit to it. It's not just putting the 1 there. It's going, I'm going to do it. Between now and Friday, 1 person with a package. Not a free user spot. Don't get me started on that thing, okay? The free user thing, okay? 1. And now, when you find 1, guess what happens? I got to connect, okay? But in order to get the 1, I have to connect before they get involved, do I not? I got to have the right posture. And this is what I'm talking about. Connecting is the most important thing. And I'm going to talk about that today, okay? So now, next. Common ground, choices to finding common ground. Okay, you saw the barriers, okay? Availability, the right questions. Right now, understand, when you start with your warm market, you already should have the questions predetermined based on the person you're talking to. If you're starting with your warm market, if you're starting with cold market, which I never recommend, okay, I'm not against cold market. I just don't agree with starting there. Okay, but let's say you are now past your warm market, which by the way, I would question. Let me ask all a big question. How many people really can say they've gone to their entire warm market? I'm talking about people starting with a 10. Your mom would be a 10. Your brothers and sisters would be a 10. Moving down to 5s. How many people have been through their 5s to 10s as far as relationships? Okay, you don't have to answer to me. I just question it. Because I know sometimes I go through my cell phone address book. Sometimes I go, wait a minute, I haven't touched that person. Still today. Okay, so I know if it's me, then, you know, the same thing. So the right questions based on the person you're talking to. And this opens people up. The openness, humility. You know what humility means to me when it comes to connecting? Letting your guard down. Letting people know, no, not everything has been great. How's it going? Fine. How's everything? Perfect. Right? Think about conversations that we have. Is it really? Or is it just conversation? It's just what we have to say. Just like every morning. Hey, how's it going? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hi, how are you? Fine. Right? Every morning it's the same. I'm not making fun. But isn't it the same conversations? Humble yourself. How's it going? Not that great. Let people know when you talk to them. Let me tell you why I'm calling. and you tell your story. Stories sell. Let your guard down. When Lisa let her guard down, when she started telling everybody in the neighborhood 25 years ago that not everything was great. Jeff's making less money. I need to add another source of income. Things aren't going the way I thought it was going to go. And all of a sudden, when she became humble and she started to let her guard down, guess what everybody else said? Well, you know what? It's not that great for us either. And until you get people open, you can't connect. If you're connecting on the surface level, you're never going to unpeel the onion. Remember, our job is to unpeel the onion. And the reason we say start with your warm market, because the onion is unpeeled. You know the answers to the test. Do you not? If I said to your brother, don't you know what your brother does? And I'm not saying your brother's going to do it. It's practicing. It's practicing. If I have somebody on my list that I don't really know, I got to ask the right questions, right? We all know the questions, don't we? Family, live, occupation, passions. Family, live, find out those 4 things. You'll find out everything you need to know. Thoughtfulness. You know what thoughtfulness is? I understand where you are. I get it, right? It's showing empathy. You know why? Because you were where they were. Likability. Are you likable? Do people like you? This is real talk, right? Sometimes you got to work on your likability, some of you. You want to know the easiest way to be likable? Just try this. What am I going to say, everybody? What am I going to, right? See, Caitlin knows. She's only been on 50,000 calls. Okay, that's right. Do it again, Caitlin. Get real close to the camera and do it. Smile. Just that alone makes you likable. I know when I go to the gym, you know, people just walk by. You know what I do? I smile. You know what they do? They smile back. It's amazing what starts to happen when you really connect with people. Connect. That's our job. We should change the training to connect with 1 to 2 people a day. Connect. You should write that down. Connect. Watch how fast you fill up your funnel. And being adaptable. Adaptable to the different situations that you may put yourself in. If you're at a trade show, you got to be adaptable to that surrounding. If it's one-on-one, you got to be adaptable to that situation. See the things you're working on. See the things that you need to work on to really master your craft. But if I had to teach one thing, it would be how to get people to connect. Because now you're somebody that people would consider getting involved with. Sometimes we want to meet somebody and sponsor them and get them to get their 6 people and get to team developer in their first week, right, in 24 hours. Because our urgency, I want you to work with urgency, yes. But I also want you to be very aware of the situation you're in and the person that you sponsored. Real simple. And everybody's got their journey. But my mentality is, the mentality that Ramacio's talking about is, wait a minute, I know that I know. And I want to share with you, based on my connection with you, right, what we want to do. Do you want to go slow or fast? If someone says to me slow, am I going to show them Ramacio's plan? But if I find out the person has network marketing experience, or he's got unbelievable credibility, he's done very well in life, he's got this posture already, he's mastered the people business, then that's somebody I know without a doubt. See, if Ramacio sponsored Jeff and Lisa, okay, then guess what? He's going to have the conversation very quickly that he had with everybody yesterday. He knows what he has. He knows. And then once he understands that, he's going to match the opportunity to the people he's talking to. So connecting practices, simplicity, okay? Connectors do the difficult work of keeping it simple. Now, let me share with you something. This company has made it the most simple, multi-level I've ever seen. I said this yesterday when I was closing up the call last night. You know what I said? I said, listen, in order for things to change, we have to change. And the biggest fear for most people is change. So let me help you. Make the decision. And this is what I said at the very end. If you say no to this, I don't know what you'll ever say yes to. And I mean that. If someone is truly looking for an opportunity, right? Because you connect it and you know they want to change their situation. Don't you all believe, this is what you all got to get to, all of you. You got to get to the point where if they say no to this, what would they ever say yes to? I believe that. Because hasn't this company, let's just be honest with each other, not that it's magic, but can it get any simpler as far as how we get information to their hands? No, can't. But then everybody says, well, it's simple, but not everybody does it. I understand that. So yes, there's an element of a numbers game. And you're not going to go out there and find one person and in your first shot, you're going to get, that person's going to get 6 and they're going to teach everybody else to get 6. You got to have enough people in your funnel so you can connect with as many people as you can to find the people that will drive it down. But like today, what did I just give everybody the assignment to do? 1. Because here's my mentality. If there's 119 people on this call, that's 119 new people. Am I not right? And these 119 people come in, aren't we going to be connecting with them? We're going to find a percentage of those people that will drive it down. But what was the key? 119 new. Okay, now you got to reverse engineer it to you. How many people do you have to bring in? Okay, this is why it's so important, right? That you got to bring in an amount of people to get traction. But connectors do the difficult work of keeping it simple. And I already said, this is already done. But here's how we need to keep it simple. Humor, heart, hope, and help. Okay, make it simple. Say it simple, right? Say it slowly, have a smile. I love this. Make it simple, say it slowly, have a smile. This is how you connect. Talk to people, not above them. Now, obviously, guys, I'm talking now, okay? If you have a relationship with people, you know how to match the opportunity to the people you're talking to because you already know the answers to the test. This may be more as you're meeting new people. Get to your point. Do you know the message you all want to send? When it comes back around to you, do you know the message you want to send? You want to send the message of change. I want to send the message of here's where I was. I understand where you are because that's where I was. And I knew if I kept going where I was going, okay, I was going to keep getting the same results. And I came across something I really believe is going to be the next big thing. Are you familiar with technology? We're first to bringing a product into the marketplace, into the United States. And there's a business opportunity attached to it. And you heard some of the other things that could be said that Ramasio talks about. Creating the urgency. In other words, you're representing change. And you found something that you know without a doubt can change your situation. And you could change their situation. And when they say it over and over again, this is communication, guys. This is communication. It's communicating. Because I'm telling you, most people don't have these types of conversations. And this is what makes you different. You got to believe you're different. You better be different. You have to have different conversations than the norm. You got to do different things than the norm. You got to put yourself in the uncomfortable and the unnatural and the unbelievable till it becomes comfortable, natural, and believable. That's it. It's like anything else you would ever do in your life. In the beginning, isn't it kind of difficult? Well, so were these conversations in the beginning, but you got to have them. You got to practice connecting. Forget the outcome. Just practice connecting. Practice asking different questions. That's what's asked every single day. Be clear in your message. And less is best. Once you make your point, lead them to the information. But here's the problem. The problem is, and here's always the underlining problem that no one wants to talk about, right? It's like the elephant in the room. We're just not running enough numbers. That's the bottom line. If you really look at your situation, if you really look at the number of people, the people you connect with, not touch, connect with, the numbers have to increase if you're not getting the results you want to get. We've never made the kind of money we've made in the first year in any of our opportunities, ever. But then we looked at it and said, well, we connected with way more people than we've ever connected with. And here's why. The internet, right, and social media allows you to touch more people. But touching more people means, let's say you touch 500 people. And out of the 500, you connect with 100. Well, you couldn't connect with 100 unless you touched 500. Do you guys understand? It's always reverse engineering it. And from the 100, we sponsored 40. You know our numbers. I share it all the time. We connected, I should say we touched 500. 97 we connected with. And out of 97 connections, real conversations, we sponsored 40. And that's how we got traction. That's what got traction to take us from beginning stages in 90 days to making more money we've ever made. So what had to happen? We had to get an influx of people in quickly. But see, this is why you can't beat yourself up, most of you. How many people have touched 500 and connected with 97? Okay, then it's ridiculous to say, well, it's not working. And I'm not saying your number is 500. My point today is that you could touch. I think Ramasio said it. If you think just sending texts to people is going to be your magic answer, I love when he said that, because that's what I always talk about. Jeff, I sent out 15,000 texts. Okay, how many did you connect with? How many did you follow up with after there was a reply and really connect and start the process? You guys understand this, right? It's their journey. I could connect with Dick. I could prospect Dick today. But I connect with him tomorrow, but that just starts the relationship. He may not fall through my funnel 90 days from now. And even 90 days from now, he still might say no to me. But if he was the only person in my funnel that I've connected with, he's my opportunity. You guys follow me? I'm not his. But if I connect to 500 people, I'm their opportunity, because no one person's no is going to affect my business. Does this make sense? I'm not worried about all that. But all of you, we get so distraught when we hear a no. You know why? Because they're probably the only person in your funnel. And all your eggs are in that basket. So this is why I always say, don't beat yourself up. These are just different ways and practices. Humor. Heart. You know what heart is? I understand the way you feel. I do care. People, people, unless they know you care, they're not opening up. And when they do open up, you provide the hope. And when they sense there's hope, you're there then to help. There it is. Humor. I'm somebody not to defend against. This guy's smiling. They really care. They're asking really caring questions. And then when it comes back down to you, you're letting them understand, okay, that you care and you can provide the hope. What's the hope, everybody? Think. What's the hope? World, global, network is their hope. And if they make that decision to join your team, you provide the what? Help. That's how we do it. But you know what? These are phases. You may be building relationships for 30, 60 days before you could get to their heart. So you could provide the hope. You may take people through this whole thing and they don't want to change. Next. But this is great practice. Everybody needs to practice. Connecting practices number 3, experience. Create an experience everybody enjoys. Okay, now we know our system is a great experience. We always say, just lead people to the two. Do you understand why that's said? I want people to know. I want people to think that after a presentation, they could start right away. They don't have to think. They don't have to learn. And that's the truth. But then once they start to do it, we got to get them results. How to be interesting. Take responsibility for your listeners. Take responsibility to do what? Listen. Another key, communicate in their world. Don't communicate in your world. They don't understand your world. But you need, our craft is to understand their world. You have to understand what's going on in people's lives. This is your craft. Do you know what's going on with government workers? Do you know what companies are downsizing? Do you know what's happening in different industries? You should. You should. And this is why we say start with your warm market, because you could communicate in their world because you know what their world is. Unless you know what their world is, you can't communicate in their world. This is connecting. This is real people business now. This is not surface people business, which is how most of us will run it. And after 90 days of running it in a surface way, we quit. No, we got to get underneath it. We got to plant roots. That's why I say when you learn this, you can never be broke, ever. It's impossible because you know people. And until you know yourself, you won't know people. I'll get to that in a minute. Capture people's attention from the start. We just talked about that. How? How do you do it, Caitlin? There you go. Smile. Say hi. Capture people. Be a presence. Say it so it sticks, right? Letting people know, okay, that you have something to offer. These are practices. You could do this on the phone, right? When you're making your list. It's not just calling up and vomiting all over them. Hey, let me tell you what I got. No, how about catching up first? How about finding out what's going on? Right? If it's somebody you haven't talked to in a while. How many of you have talked to somebody and they go, hey, how about saying hi to me? I haven't talked to you in 14 years and you're telling me about wearable technology? No, I'm just trying to get you to better your craft. I'd much rather you do that than nothing. But it's sharpening our skills. That's all it is. So maybe some nuggets are coming out here for some of you. Okay? Number 4, inspire. Connectors inspire people. Here's your inspiration equation. You ready? What people know plus what people see plus what people feel equals inspiration and decision. What people know. Now, here's what I want you to know. That you understand them and are focused on them. I only tell people what they need to know. And what they need to know is I believe. That's what they need to know. That you understand them and you are focused on them. Your attention is them. When they believe that, watch how they open up. You guys, listen, people love to talk about themselves. Do me a favor, let them. Let them. Be sincere, be present. Look at them. Don't look at them with the intent to talk. Do you ever have that? You ever have that feeling that you're talking to somebody, you know they're not listening, but they're just listening, so you take a breath so they could talk over you? That's not connecting. That's not the people business. Get them to open up. What people see, plus what people see. You know what they need to see? You're convicted. We talked about this yesterday. They need to see your consistency. They need to see your example, which is your consistency. When they see these types of things, right, I'm telling you, it betters your chances to get them to open up. If they don't see consistency, remember I said yesterday people are watching? But if I'm just meeting somebody, I want people to say, can you not pick out somebody that's convicted? Can you not pick people? If you're at an airport or a mall and you're just sitting there wasting time before your flight, don't you love to people watch? Can't you pick out people that you know are determined and convicted? I can all day long. People with purpose, or people just walk through the airport. La, 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 right? And there's some people that just are, okay, this is what I'm doing. I want that to be you. This person's convicted. I don't care what other people think. This person's on a mission. That's attraction. That's an example. I think Ramasio said it yesterday. Would you get involved with you? I've said that 10,000 times. Would you get involved with you? Are you the type of convicted person that sets the right example? And would you want to be led by you based on what you're doing in this business? Be honest. Then we have to make some changes. That's all. It's not like, well, it's not working for me. Yes, you know what the work is? It's working on us. We're always trying to work on everybody else. That's the killer. You're trying to save the world. Save yourself first. What do people need to feel? Your confidence in them. You know how big this is? You know how many people are just beat up every single day? You know what it would mean to put your hand on someone's shoulder and say, you know what? I believe in you. Man, you have some great qualities. You know, my business is the people business. You know what? I see a lot of desire in you, John. You know what that does? You know what people, they stand different because they're just told that they're not worth that much. They're told they can't be promoted. They're getting beat up at home and at work, and now here you come. What do people need to feel? Your confidence in them. But how can you give them confidence if you don't have any? Find your little successes. Let's go back to what I said earlier. One person, everybody, this week. One. Forget the damn team developer right now. One. Let's start there. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. One new person. See, sometimes we're trying to eat the whale or an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. Your gratitude for them. I appreciate you, John. I mean, there's just ways to bring people closer to you, right? This is connecting. And even after someone says yes and buys the package, you're still doing this. Do you understand that, right? We think once we sponsor them, the connection's over. The connection's just starting. Because until I could put forth Ramaccio's plan to get someone to diamond, I got to find out what I got. And I'm sitting down with them to figure out so I can match the opportunity and the expectations to what I know without a doubt they can provide. I can't provide $10,000 a month if the person's never been involved in the people business and doesn't know very many people, period. But can the person lead me to one that I could maybe work with? Understand what you got. That's the key. That's the connection. And this is inspiration, guys. Credibility. Credibility is the currency that connectors have. Oh, Jeff, I don't have much credibility. If you say you have credibility, if you say you don't have credibility, you're right either way. You want to know the credibility you have? You made a decision to change. That gives you credibility. Do you understand your decision is a decision that most people will never make their whole life? How do I know that? Because most people don't change. If 98% of the people are going to retire into some form of poverty, and that's a fact, that means 98% kept doing the same thing, expecting different results. Would that not give you credibility if you were part of the 2% that decided to change? Do you understand by just accepting this, you put yourself above most people? Because you made a change. You're special. You don't understand that. You got to tell yourself this. Credibility is the currency that connectors have. So let's have our credibility checklist. Have I connected with myself? Uh-oh, here we go now. Have you connected with yourself? I'm going to say it again. Have you connected with your why? Have you connected with your desires? Have you connected with your family? Have you bought into the opportunity? Have you really been honest with you? If not, okay, it's going to be hard to make those phone calls or to really connect with people, or it's going to be really hard even to smile. You got to tell your face you're excited sometimes because it doesn't know. Have I made right my wrong? Have I made right my wrong? Wrongs. See, a lot of times, guys, we live in negativity because that's what's got us to where we were. You're not there anymore because you made a decision to change. By making a decision to change, you're no longer where you were. That's a positive. That's a small success. You got to embrace it because these are the little things that keep you going every day. Because if you're just basing it on the people you're sponsoring and that's your barometer, you're going to put a gun to your head. And I'm not politically correct. Sorry. Okay, you guys get my point. Okay, my point is you're not going to leave the house if you're all basing on just people you're sponsoring because nobody is sponsoring enough people to keep them excited. So you got to find your little successes. Okay, what's your little successes? Remember yesterday, your schedule is a little success. Hey, guess what? I did my dream board. That's a success. I got my vision. I put together my schedule, and here's where I'm going to work my business. That's my success. Next day, I actually did what I was supposed to do today. Success. I'm going to work on connecting today. Success. Sometimes it's not just the sponsor. It's not just I meet a lady, I have a baby with her, I got to date her, right? Or maybe some of you did it the opposite way. I don't know. Okay. Now, am I accountable? To who? You. Do I lead like I live? Does what come out of your mouth match what you're really doing? Do I tell the truth? Oof. Uh-oh. Hi, baby. Am I vulnerable? Am I following the golden rule? Do you know what the golden rule is? Do unto others. Do I deliver results? Credibility checklist. Starts with us, right? Always. Always starts with us. You know what the truth does? It opens up the truth. Your truth opens up their truth. Most people don't live in truth. Everything's fine. Remember? Remember the conversations? Everything's great. Everything's fine. Really? Well, let me tell you, it's not so fine with me. Let me tell you what's happening. Oh, yeah, you're right. And watch how they open. This is connecting. It allows you to set the groundwork to enter into how they could change their truth. You see? Sometimes it's more than a 2-minute video. This is what I'm talking about. Connecting first before you send out the 2-minute video. Setting it up right. So they know when they see that video, you know what they need to see? Listen to me, everybody. Here's what I want everybody to see. I want them to see your face. I want them to see your humor. I want them to see that you cared when they watched the 2-minute. I want them knowing you when they watch the 2-minute video. Watch how much more powerful that 2-minute video becomes because you connected first. I want them to see your face. And then all of a sudden it has a whole new meaning. Man, I remember this guy, Dick. He sent me this 2-minute video. He really cared. He told me, he put his hand on my shoulder and said, you know what? I see a lot of desire in you. He actually said, you know what? I understand the way you feel. He asked about my family. And now he sent me this 2-minute. They're not looking at a 2-minute video. They're remembering the experience you gave them. That's the business. There's no connection. What's this 2-minute video? Who's this guy, Dick, that just sent me this 2-minute video? Spam me. Delete. And then Dick goes, I sent it out. Oh, really? Now, you see? I want them to feel and see you when they watch that 2-minute video. And understand what's behind that 2-minute video because you understood where they are, you understood it, and you gave them the opportunity now. It has a whole different meaning. Is this making sense? Okay. Check credibility list. So recap. Connecting is influence. And I'm telling you, you make yourself entirely different. And you stand out when you do this because most people don't. That makes you different. What's Apple's model? Be different. That's us. We got to be different. Connecting begins when the others people feel valued. The more you do to go beyond words, the greater the chance you will connect with people. The more you do to go beyond words, how's it going? Fine. The greater the chance you will connect with people. Okay, let's remove the fine. Okay? And you start to talk about all the things that we talk about. Family, life, occupation. The larger the group, the more energy that is required to connect. Right? I like one-on-ones. If you're in a large group, you got to focus in on somebody you want to talk to because you've surveyed the situation. And remember, you're a people person. Okay, you guys getting antsy? That's why you're drawing on my thing? Is that why? You want me to stop? Okay. Then I'm done. No. I just blocked you. The skills you learn to connect at one level can be used to start connecting at the next level. It's a skill set, guys. We're still learning the skill set. People, when does it end? It doesn't. It doesn't end. End? Really? I used to say, when's this leadership thing end? It doesn't. Just get better at your craft. You get better at communicating. And the no's don't bother you because you're above all that. You understand. See, when I really say I understand the way you feel, I do. I do. I know where most of the people are. I do. Knowing the reasons you and your listeners want to communicate and build a bridge between them. Work to create the right experience from your communication settings. What people remember most is how you made them feel. Connecting. That Dick guy made me feel really good. I'm going to watch this 2-minute video. I haven't felt that way in years. No one's ever said they see something in me. You know how many people live their life like that? And they light up like a Christmas tree with a compliment? Think about that. Doesn't that make you feel good? Caitlin, you look great today. You look awesome, girl. Tell me she doesn't feel good. I don't care. Dick, you need to take a shower. Okay, I just made him feel bad. I said, words are powerful, are they not? Okay, make people feel good. But listen, guys, and I'm going to close with this. I know you're sick of hearing it. Unless you feel good, it's going to be real hard to make them feel good. Period. You got to work harder on yourself than you do the business. That's how you connect. Love you guys. Today at 12, 6. Chattanooga tomorrow, Diamond Zone. Okay, this has been recorded. Love you guys. 1 person this week. 1. Talk to you soon. Wave, everybody. Wave, everybody. Bye, guys.